So I did review the match again between Barcelona and Shakhtar, and just very similar to what I said about the Barcelona versus Real Sociedad match. I'm still not going to change my opinion. It's always healthy to review the match like a second time because maybe sometimes you're at the heat of the moment, which is why you came out so negative in the first review. But this is going to be my second review, and my opinion still stands, right? I just feel like Barcelona is not good enough. Their energy is very low. I feel like they lost their motivation, they lost their hunger, they lost their ambition, and I still question where all of that went, right? Because like it just doesn't make any sense for us to look so hungry in Xavi's first full season, and then for us to lose all of the hunger and all of the ambition in the second season under Xavi Hernandez, right? I feel like in a way, do they have too much pride in what they did in the first full season under Xavi? Do they feel like, okay, because we won La Liga, we don't have to try no more, we can just relax now, we did what we had to do, everybody give me my respect, I'm good enough to be claimed as one of the best players in the world? Like, is that what happened to the players? Do they feel very entitled with that La Liga win that they had? Because if that's the case, then that's the wrong approach. It's really the wrong approach, because like, to me, I just really question, where did the hunger go? Where did the ambition go? And like, if this is going to be the case, if the players feel so entitled to like just relax and not give out a lot of energy, not defend the opposition, and to let the opposition have the ball and to score on us, then you might as well just bring back Piqué, Alba, Busquets, Messi, Luis Suarez. Like, bring back all those players, because you know what they did when they won La Liga? They tried to win La Liga over again, right? They had longevity. Gone are the days of having those players and giving us like 8 to 10 consistent prime years. These players that we have right now, they won La Liga once, and now they want to act like they don't need to try anymore. And that has to be something that Xavi Hernandez has to like look at, because look, earlier today, it was reported that Xavi Hernandez had a 45-minute like meeting with the players. There were players like Gundogan, Lewandowski, Araujo, and some other players like speaking up, and Xavi wanted to assess what was going on, right? What is this problem that we're going through right now, this bad phase, because all of this is unacceptable. And so they had that time to go into the locker room and just talk about how do we feel, right? How have we felt in the past 2 games? There was a lot of self-reflection that was being held in that 45-minute meeting, and I think that it was very much mandatory. Javi Miguel did state that Xavi decided to take a stand by calling up the entire team on a revolutionary meeting, looking for a big and immediate reaction from the players. Many players spoke up about the current situation, especially 2 of the captains, Ter Stegen and Araujo. Lewandowski and Gundogan participated, as well as exposing their point of view. Xavi knew that after the last few poor games, he had to be the one to take a step forward in the right direction. Both the staff and the players came to the conclusion that this poor phase needs to end as soon as possible, that nothing is lost yet, and that the performance from the last few games cannot be repeated, which is true. This is so unacceptable for the players to act the way they did. Right? Not even I don't even want to talk about their performance. I just don't like that attitude. I don't like the way that they act. I don't like the way that they view the games, and they say we can just relax here because we're going to end up winning anyways because we're individually better than these players from Shakhtar. Like, no, bro. Like, if you don't try, if you don't give the energy, any team can beat you. Any team can beat you. I don't care if it's Getafe, Alaves. I don't care if it's a team from the Premier League like Southampton or like whoever, right? Those bottom teams, right, from the table, they can still beat Barcelona. And I hope the players understand that they can still beat you guys, even if you guys don't try, and if you guys are not hungry for the ball and you guys don't want the ball. Those teams can all beat you. I don't care how good you are individually. I don't care how many Golden Boy awards you guys have won. I don't care if you guys won the Champions League before. They will still beat you, and you guys will take Barcelona out of the Champions League very quick. We won't go into the Champions League next season. We will finish outside of the top 4. We're not going to make it past the round of 16, and that's going to be embarrassing. And you guys are going to think that, oh, what happened? Oh, I thought we were going to make it. I thought we were going to do better because we had Koundé, we had Gundogan and Oriol Romeo and Ferran Torres and Joao Felix and Joao Cancelo. Like, what happened? No, you know what happened. We're telling you guys now, us as a fan base, right? We're telling you guys now where this is all going to lead to. And for those of you guys who don't even trust me, right, and you guys are thinking like, oh, this guy is just being super negative and this guy's just making up stories and stuff like that, go look at how Barcelona conceded that goal against Shakhtar. Look at the way that that player received the ball on their left side, he made a beautiful cross across the field, and it led towards one of the right wingers of Shakhtar receiving the ball perfectly, right? No pressure. Ferran Torres was like, I'm just going to walk. I'm not going to have any alertness, no eagerness to try and win that ball because Shakhtar not going to do nothing. You could just see Ferran Torres walking, like not trying to defend that ball, and then one of the players of Shakhtar ended up crossing the ball, and then there you go. Shakhtar scores a goal through a header. It was so easy for them. And Barcelona is in such a low level, right? That cross that was made across the field from one of the Shakhtar players, I feel like none of those players from Barcelona can do that right now because they don't have enough focus in their game. Like, I'm not even exaggerating right now because look at how many like passes that were attempted by Barcelona that were incomplete. They couldn't complete 2 or 3 passes together. They couldn't do that. Like they did one pass and then they lost the ball. They did 2 passes and then Shakhtar got the ball immediately and they went on the counter and Barcelona suffered. They couldn't connect any passes. It was so embarrassing, guys. Like, I swear to you guys, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm calling it how it is. If you just want to hear positivity and just hear good news about Barcelona, go look at the other Barcelona channels. I'm sure that there's a Barcelona channel that loves to give out just straight positivity, ignore all the negativity, have no self-accountability, and just say that everything's going to be okay, that the old Barcelona is coming back very soon. Go look at those other channels if you guys want. But here, I'm going to call it how it is, and I'm going to make sure that I expose the truth and how Barcelona is actually performing, because there's no reason for us to be so hard-headed and not look at what's actually happening in this club. And another thing that does worry me, right, is that if we keep this up, and I promise you guys this will happen, if we continue with this current form that Barcelona's in, if we continue, right, if we get better, then things could change. But if we continue with this type of form, I expect Xavi Hernandez to be sacked before the season is over. I know that sounds very surprising for me to say, and I'm a huge defender of Xavi. I love Xavi, right? I want Xavi to succeed at Barcelona, and I know that this is a coach that can bring Barcelona to the top of the world. But if we continue with this form and the players don't truly believe on what Xavi is trying to teach, Xavi will definitely be sacked. And I think that one of the reasons why he would be sacked is because he lacks authority at the moment. Like, for example, I said something on Twitter. Pep Guardiola wants Phil Foden, right? Let me give you guys some background. Pep Guardiola wants Phil Foden to play as a central midfielder, play in Gundogan's position. He sees him in that way. Phil Foden, throughout his past 15 years of living through the academy of Man City, he has been training to play as the best left winger in the world. He loves playing in that position. He was born to do that. As a matter of fact, that's what he thinks himself, that he was supposed to become the best left winger in the world one day. But now that he's in the first team, a couple of years has passed by, and Pep Guardiola saying, I want to pull you out of that position because I want to have Doku and Grealish there, and I want you to play in Gundogan's position, to play as a central midfielder, to play as a deep line playmaker, because I think that you have the capability to do that. You have the IQ, you have the ball retention rate, you have all of those things. Phil Foden, right? It's like, okay, master. Okay, Pep Guardiola, I will do that. Because if you think that I can do that, I will do that. And now we're seeing today that Phil Foden can play in those positions. He did not fight that decision of Pep Guardiola. He trusted Pep Guardiola. He knows that Pep Guardiola has the authority. And now you see how like that great connection made everything better for Man City. Now you have a great balance between Grealish and Doku, and you have Phil Foden exposing himself into brand new positions, and now he's going to be evolutionary, right? He's going to be an amazing player in the middle of the pitch. Now, let's bring this to Barcelona. Xavi Hernandez wanted Koundé to play as a right back because he believed that overall it makes Barcelona much more stable, right? You have Koundé as a right back, Araujo and Christensen as a center back pairing, and Balde on the left back position. Koundé, a couple of months after, when Koundé was playing back-to-back games as a right back, he was saying, hey Xavi, I don't think that I should be playing as a right back. I just feel much better playing as a center back. If Xavi had more authority, he would have said, hey look, I understand that you play better as a center back in the back line, but overall it does hurt the team. If you go into that position, I'm gonna have to look for a real right back because I don't have one. And Xavi could have said that, but I don't think that he did. I think that Xavi listened to what Koundé had to say, and he said, okay, understand that you want to become one of the best center backs in the world. Regardless if this hurts Barcelona in the long run, don't worry about it. I'm going to put you in the center back position, and I'm going to be looking for a right back this summer. Next season, I promise you won't ever see that position again. And now we sit here today With Barcelona much more exposed defensively, we looked much better last season because Koundé was in the right back position. And I like, for example, when Bellingham scored that second goal or that long range goal against Barcelona, I don't know if it was the first goal or the second goal. If Koundé, Araujo, Christensen, and Balde were there, you better bet that goal would have never happened. That goal would have never happened. But Xavi was looking for the best interest of Koundé, and Koundé was also looking for the best interest for himself. Same thing with Lewandowski. Lewandowski was asking, I need attackers around me. I need real wingers. I can't perform having a false left winger right next to me. And Xavi Hernandez listened to that, even though it made much more sense to have a false left winger because it led towards us having more control of the ball. Xavi Hernandez said, okay, I'm gonna be bringing Joao Felix. We're gonna place him there. And then as soon as Joao Felix came in, he had that that infamous debut. He played amazing, by the way. And when we saw that great little era between Joao Felix and Lewandowski and how effective they were scoring goals, bringing in those 5-0 wins, Lewandowski immediately went to the media and he's like, you see how much better we are when we have a real left winger and more attackers on the field. So you can see that Lewandowski was begging for that. He was looking for the best interest for himself because he knew that having a real winger next to him would allow him to become better. There's nothing wrong with that, right? As a matter of fact, there's nothing wrong with these players looking for solutions to play better. But if it comes to a point where it is going to make Barcelona overall worse, drop a level, then that is a problem. And Lewandowski does not see that. Xavi Hernandez does not see that. He listened to the player yet again. And, Xavi wanted that whole idea of having 4 midfielders on the pitch because he believed that was the best scenario for Barcelona where he can get the most results. And it worked. Yes, yes, we got a lot of we had so many 1-0 wins last season, but that's okay because we had that and we only allowed 20 goals last season and we won La Liga. It came with results. But now, because Xavi Hernandez had to listen to these players, now we're playing worse. And that is what I'm saying. Xavi does not have the authority in the locker room. He does not have much of a say, and the players are looking for their own best interests. They're not looking for Barcelona's best interests. We can even go back like last year when Rafinha was begging to Xavi. He was like, I don't want to play as a left winger. I can't do this. Like, it's just too hard. I know that you want me here, but I don't want to be here. And then Xavi had to listen. He's like, okay, but I want to play Dembele on the right and I need you on the left wing. But if you don't feel comfortable on the left, I'm just going to move you out of there and I'm gonna put you on the right wing and put Dembele somewhere else. You see how the players easily move Xavi Hernandez? That's a problem. And so let me tell you, if Xavi does get sacked for whatever reason and we continue with this type of form, right? No hunger, no mentality, no nothing, right? We're just a team that has great players that doesn't care about the final result and doesn't care about winning games. If we just continue in this route, the only coach I see coming into this club is Hansi Flick, but that's about it. I don't see any other coach doing better than Xavi Hernandez is doing today. Maybe Pep Guardiola, but he's at City and he's very committed to City. But I do see Hansi Flick being the successor to Xavi Hernandez. That's the only one. It's very hard for me to pick like 2 or 3 or 4, maybe even 5 coaches that can replace Xavi because Xavi is a great coach. He is a great coach. I want to believe in him. But if it ends up going like this for the next 5 to 6 games, there is a real problem, my friends. And again, the only coach I do see it is Hansi Flick, someone who can assemble a monster of a team. We've seen him do that with Bayern Munich. Yes, he did not have a great run with Germany, but having a national team success and club success are 2 very different things. Hansi Flick is a coach that knows how to coach a club, not a national team. Maybe in time he'll be able to coach a national team, but as of now, he's a coach that knows how to coach a club team. And I think that Barcelona can be one of those clubs that he can thrive in. And so I'm not saying that we need to move on from Xavi Hernandez and bring in Hansi Flick. I'm just saying if Xavi does get sacked, and I hope that he does not, because I want Xavi to be here for the next 7 to 8 to 9 years. I do think that Joan Laporta will be going for Hansi Flick. I strongly believe that Laporta has great connections with Hansi Flick. And so that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.